Hey, that was my wife. So, do some rearranging in the house, switching rooms, so I had to move my library, and I found a pretty cool little thing. This pamphlet. A who's who in English church history. I can't remember if when I upload this, it'll be switched. I don't know if you can read this, but a who's who of English church history. Very cool. This pamphlet is from 1911, and it cost, as you can see on the bottom there, 1 penny. Perhaps the coolest thing about this pamphlet was the following. So, I'll just point out what it's titled and subtitled, and I'll tell you what's really cool about it. So, it's Who's Who in English Church History. Brief biographies of men of mark in the story of the English Church by Helen M. Blagg. All right, well, super duper. Fun little reference. The coolest thing about this thing is the ad on the back. From 1911, Fry's Pure Cocoa, a nerve and digestion strengthener. Fry's Pure Cocoa is a strength beverage of such extreme refinement. Strength beverage of extreme refinement. I can't imagine a more perfect beverage. That it can be taken by young or old, by invalids, or by people of delicate nerves and weak digestion. It assimilates so easily that it becomes a strengthening influence where most other foods and beverages would fail. Fry's Cocoa. If ever there was a hot chocolate for the soul, this is the one. The beverage of vigor and enjoyment, as it says there on the bottom. The beverage of vigor and enjoyment. So it's super cool. You open it up, and, well, here we go. So it's just all this dense text. That's all this book is, just this. Reginald Heber, born in 1783, died in 1826. He was a bishop of Calcutta from 1822 to 1826. After a brilliant career at Oxford, he was the incumbent of Hodnet in 1807. I don't know what that is. He was the prebendary of St. Asaph in 1812. He was a preacher at Lincoln's Inn in 1822. He established Bishop's College in Calcutta. He worked and traveled much in the diocese. He died at Trichinopoly. Now, here's the cool part right at the end. His hymns include the incomparable Trinity hymn, Holy, Holy, Holy. Poetical works were published in 1812. I'm going to pause briefly while the train passes by. Excuse me. Or perhaps you would prefer to hear of a medieval saint from the English Church. How about Wilfrid, or Wilfrith, born in 634 and died in 709. A lot of these entries, obviously, they're not sure when they were born or died, but for some reason they're sure about this guy. He was bishop for 45 years at York and elsewhere. Of noble birth, he was educated at Lindisfarne, which is that monastery that famously was sacked by the Vikings. He succeeded the Northumbrian abbot at Ripon in 661 and was the successful advocate for the Roman Easter at Whitby in 664, having learnt the usage abroad. Consecrated bishop of the Northumbrians in Gaul, 665, he was dispossessed of his see during his prolonged absence. See Chad. So we could go look up Chad right now. I just love this little thing. And so on and so forth. Goes to a council at Rome. In 681, he worked among the South Saxons, where he had been shipwrecked 15 years before and founded a monastery at Selsey. In 686, Theodore reinstated him at York and as abbot of Ripon. But not content with the diminished area, he again left York in 691 and acted as Bishop of Mercia. Theodore, by the way, was one of the main organizers of the Roman Church in England. The British Church had a very Celtic character. And then the Saxons were more Roman in character, and they kind of Romanized the church on the main British Isle. He was an able organizer and missionary, beloved by his followers, with a too great love of power. And I love little reference things like this. So Wilfrid had too great a love for power. Says who? Where did you get this information? I must know. So I'll probably hit Wikipedia after this. Anyway, just wanted to show this to you. Who's Who of Famous Men of the Church of England. Sponsored by Fry's Pure Cocoa. I hope you've enjoyed this brief tour of a brief pamphlet. I'm going to now enjoy the sunset and my pipe. Cheers, y'all.